For years, online scam operations operated in plain sight, hidden behind call centers, fake websites, and layers of anonymity that made them seem untouchable. Victims across the world lost savings, businesses collapsed, and entire families were financially destroyed, while the people behind these crimes continued operating with confidence and scale. This story follows how one such criminal network was exposed, not through speculation or theory, but through direct observation of how modern digital fraud actually works. The operation did not begin with hacking for spectacle, nor with dramatic confrontations, but with a simple decision to observe, document, and understand how these systems function from the inside. What appeared on the surface as random scams was in reality a highly organized structure, built with discipline, hierarchy, and real-time surveillance. These groups did not act like amateurs. They operated like companies. Inside these buildings, dozens of operators worked in shifts, following scripts, performance metrics, and daily targets. Walls were covered with charts tracking successful extractions. Supervisors walked between desks, monitoring calls, correcting language, and pushing workers to extract more money from victims who often did not even realize they were being manipulated. What made this operation particularly disturbing was not just the scale, but the confidence. Cameras watched every corner of the room, not for security from outsiders, but to control the workers themselves. The scammers were monitored as closely as their victims. This internal surveillance revealed the truth. These were not lone criminals, but coordinated fraud factories. As the investigation progressed, access was gained to live internal camera feeds. What appeared was raw and unfiltered. No background music, no commentary, just real footage of people actively running scams in real time. The images showed rows of operators calling victims, switching languages depending on the target country, changing identities mid-conversation, and reacting emotionally when a victim hesitated or questioned the story. These were moments never meant to be seen. The operators believed they were invisible. They believed the distance between them and their victims made them safe. The presence of surveillance cameras inside these facilities was meant to enforce discipline, but it also became the tool that revealed the entire operation. Over time, patterns emerged. The scams followed predictable psychological stages. First came authority, often impersonating banks, government agencies, or tech companies. Then fear, created through claims of compromised accounts or legal threats. Finally, urgency, pressuring the victim to act immediately without thinking. The victims were guided step by step until money was transferred, often willingly, believing they were preventing a disaster. The people on the other side of the call were trained to suppress empathy. Internal footage showed laughter, celebrations, and performance rewards after successful extractions. This was not desperation. It was business. As more footage was collected, the scale of the network became undeniable. Multiple locations, synchronized scripts, shared databases of victim information, and clear leadership structures. These operations functioned across borders, exploiting differences in jurisdiction and law enforcement coordination. The belief that online scams are small or isolated is one of the reasons they continue to thrive. They are industrial. Throughout the investigation, one detail remained constant. The scammers believed exposure was impossible. They assumed victims would be ashamed and silent. They assumed authorities would be too slow. And they assumed no one would ever see what happened inside their rooms. That assumption was wrong. Near the end of this video, real footage from inside these scam operations will be shown. The images have no sound for technical and legal reasons, but they clearly reveal the reality behind the calls. Before those images are shown, it is important to understand how ordinary people can protect themselves. Modern scams succeed not because victims are careless, but because the attacks are engineered. Anyone can be targeted. Age, education, and experience do not make someone immune. The most effective defense is awareness. Legitimate institutions do not demand immediate action under threat. Banks do not ask for passwords. Governments do not resolve legal issues through phone calls. Any message that creates panic and demands secrecy is a warning sign. Taking time is the most powerful tool a victim has. Ending gakal, verifying information independently, and speaking to another person before acting can stop most scams instantly. Another critical protection is limiting the amount of personal information available online. Scammers often use publicly available data to appear legitimate. They know names, addresses, employers, and even family members. Reducing this footprint makes their job harder. Financial institutions offer additional layers of protection, such as transaction alerts and withdrawal delays. Enabling these features can create vital time to detect fraud before damage is irreversible. Education is equally important. Talking openly about scams removes the shame that criminals rely on. Silence protects the scammer, not the victim. Reporting attempts, even unsuccessful ones, helps build databases that disrupt these networks. The footage shown at the end of this video is not meant to shock for entertainment. It is meant to expose reality. These images show people at work inside scam operations, carrying out fraud as routine labor. No actors, no reenactments, just reality. By understanding how these systems operate, viewers are better equipped to recognize manipulation when it appears. This story is not about individual hackers or heroic intervention. It is about transparency. When fraud loses invisibility, it loses power. If this video helped clarify how modern scams operate, consider subscribing to the channel. More investigations like this are coming, focused on exposing the systems behind digital crime and helping people protect themselves before damage is done. The real footage begins next. What is being shown now are real images taken from inside scam operations. There is no sound in this footage for technical and security reasons, but the silence makes the reality even clearer. These are not reenactments. These are not actors. These are real people in real rooms actively running fraud schemes at the exact moment these images were captured. Every screen, every desk, every movement represents someone attempting to manipulate a victim somewhere in the world. This is what most people never get to see. These operations survive because they stay invisible. Once they are exposed, their power begins to collapse. This is why it is critical to watch closely. Notice how organized everything is. Notice how calm the operators look. This is not chaos. This is routine. And that is precisely why awareness matters. If viewers take only one lesson from this footage, it should be this. Scams do not look suspicious from the inside. They look professional, controlled, and intentional. That is why anyone can become a target. The best defense is not intelligence or experience, but hesitation. Taking a moment to stop, verify, and question can break the entire manipulation. No legitimate authority demands urgency through fear. No real institution asks for secrecy. If a message pressures immediate action, it is a signal to step back. Share this information with people you care about. One shared video can prevent real financial damage. One conversation can stop a scam before it happens. If this content is valuable, take a second to subscribe to the channel. Subscribing ensures these investigations continue and reach more people who may not yet realize how these systems work. Leave a comment as well. Engagement helps push this information to others who need to see it, even if they don't know it yet. And if this video made you think of someone who could be at risk, share it with them right now. Awareness spreads faster than fraud when people act. To see what happens when these operations are finally confronted in the real world, watch the previous video titled "Police Raid This Scam Call Center." The moment it all ended live footage. That video shows the exact moment when the system collapses and the people behind it lose control. The link is waiting.